Okay, so for number one, it wants the range. Make sure you remember to use robot dealer. So range is the y's. So I'm going to go bottom. So furthest down is 2 to top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, range is your y's, so you put the y in the middle and the less than symbol. So at 2 there's an open circle, so no line under the sign. And at 5 there's not an open circle, so a line under the sign. Now remember, if it's in function notation, you can write k of x. That's the same thing as y, so it's the same, it's just in function notation. So this would be my answer. So what is that? A. Okay. Question 2. So domain is the x's. So I'm going to highlight the x-axis. So when you do domain, robot dealer, you go left and then right. So furthest left is -3. Furthest right is 2. Again, domain is your x's. There's an open circle at 2, so no line on the sign. No open circle at -3, so a line on the sign. So if you cover this up, this is saying all the x's are greater than or equal to -3. So they're greater than or equal to -3 in the first box. And then again, if I cover this, all the x's are less than 2. So less than, but they can't be equal to. It's an open circle. So less than 2, not less than or equal to. For number 2. Alright. Number 3 says, what is the domain and range? I would suggest you plug that into Desmos so that you can see the line. So if I go to Desmos, type it in exactly as it reads. So f of x equals 8. It's going to give me a line. So this horizontal line, and f of x is the same thing as y, so it's saying all the y's, and if I click on this line, all the y's are 8, so the range is just going to be 8, and the x's, it goes left forever, it's going to go right forever, so it's going to be all real numbers. So it's a horizontal line. So on this horizontal line, all the y's are going to be 8, so the range is 8. And then domain is left or right. It's going to go left forever and right forever. So your domain is all real numbers. So that looks like it should be B. Okay. Question 4. So Brothers Pizza is running a special on large pepperoni pizzas for $13 per pizza. So if it's $13 a pizza, this is going to be my equation, right? So they have a limit of 3 pizzas per address. So the x of the function is going to represent my number of pizzas, right? So then that means the y is going to be the cost. So if I want my domain, the domain is my number of pizzas. Well, there's a limit of 3. So I can have 1, 2, or 3 pizzas, but I'm not going to buy half a pizza or 1.5 pizzas, right? So it's discrete. So my domain is going to be 1, 2, 3. And then the range would be the cost. So again, use Desmos. So if I go to Desmos and plug the function in, so y equals 13x, and go to the table, and use the table for 1 pizza, it's going to be $13. 2 is 26, 3 is 39, and nothing in between, so it's discrete. So my range, my y's are going to be 13, 26, and 39. So 13, 26, and 39. Okay. What is this? Number 5. Okay, so again, number 5. So it's transformed, and it gives me the function. So it wants to know which best describes the transformation. So use IHOT over. IHOT over. So the 3 is inside parentheses. So that means that it's going to be a horizontal shift, right? So horizontal is left to right, and it's going to be opposite. So plus 3 means it's going to go left 3. And then the -5 is outside. Outside is vertical, and vertical goes up and down. So it's going to be down 5, left 3, and down 5. So just go look for your keywords. Left and so left, 3 units left, down 5, 3 units left, and 5 units down. So it would be B. Make sure you use IHOT over tomorrow on your test. It's going to help you tremendously. Okay, now number 6. So we have function f and then function g. So if we look here, this is going to be a shift up 3. We can tell the y-intercept's the same. It's not shifting up or down at all. C would give me the exact same function. So really, this is just saying the slope is 4, and this one's saying the slope is 3. So tomorrow, make sure you get 2 points and get the slope. So I'm just going to get 2 points off of function g. So I know 0, 0 is a good point. Another good point is 2, 6. So then just go plus sign table in Desmos. So plus sign table, I'm going to plug my 2 points in. So 0, 0, and 2, 6. Magic wand. And the slope is 3. So that would be D. Number 7, again, so we start with the parent function, f of x equals x, and then we're going to do all these transformations. So the negative, if the negative comes first, it's going to reflect, right? Oh, never mind. It doesn't even want the transformations. It just wants the x-intercept. So if I plug in the function, so if I go plug in g of x equals -4 parentheses, f parentheses x, close parentheses, plus 12, it will not graph anything because I haven't plugged the parent function in first. So make sure you always, you've got to plug in f of x equals x. Now it'll graph. So it just wants the x-intercept of graph G. So graph G is my black line. 0 means x-intercept, and the x-intercept is 3. So that would be C. Okay. Next question. So again, it starts with the parent function. What would be the x and y intercepts if we went here? All you have to do is plug it in, but again, it will not graph if you don't plug in f of x equals x as well. So I've already got f of x equals x in Desmos. Now I'm going to go plug in exactly like it is. So h of x equals f of x plus 5. And it wants the x and y intercepts. So here's function h, so I'm going to use the blue one. So -5, 0 is going to be my x-intercept. So -5, 0. And then my y-intercept is 0, 5. You cannot miss these. Use Desmos. Too easy. Okay, question 9. Slope of 7. So I'm going to highlight the important things. So function f has a slope of 7. So g is going to be parallel, so that means it's going to have the same slope. So parallel, it's going to have the same slope. So here's the slope on each one. So I need the slope to be 7. So based on that, I can eliminate D and B. And it needs to have the point 310, right? That's function notation. X is 3. Y is 10. So again, use Desmos. Go plug AN to Desmos. So I'm going to keep f of x equals x in there again, or it won't work. So answer choice A, g of x equals 7 parentheses x minus 3 close parentheses plus 10. It needs to go through the ordered pair 3, 10, so I'm going to type that in Desmos. And it does. So there's my answer. If you want to label it, you can check the box. It'll label it, so answer is going to be A. So it's parallel, it has the same slope, and it needs to go to the point 310. Okay, next question. It says, what is the equation in slope-intercept form of the line that passes through the point? So it's going to go through the point -6, 8, and parallel to this line. So again, parallel means it's going to have the same slope. So the slope of this line is 2, so I know in my function the slope's going to be 2, and it's got to go through this point. So we did this several days in class. So go to Desmos, type in y equals 2x. So y equals 2x. It's going to have the same slope. It's going to have to go through the point -6, 8. So type the ordered pair in. I'm going to label it. It helps me see it. Zoom out so I can see it. Okay, so it's not going through it. So I'm going to adjust the y-intercept until it does. So if I do plus 2, didn't go enough. Let me try 5. Not enough. How about 10? 15. Oops. 20. There we go. So slope is going to be 2, and the y-intercept is going to be 20. Slope is going to be 2, and the y-intercept would be 20. Question 11. So this time we want it to be perpendicular. So I need to know the slope so that I can double flip. So remember, perpendicular, I have to do 2 things. It's going to be a double flip. Whoa. So I'm going to go plug in these 2 points so I can get the slope of the line. So this ordered pair is what? -10, 8. This ordered pair is 2, 3. So let's go get the slope of the line. So plus sign table and plug in the 2 points. Plus sign table, my ordered pairs are -10, 8, and 2, 3. Slope, that is ugly, so remember, 3 dots, export, and then I want to see what m is as a fraction. So type in the letter m and the fraction. So -5/12. So let's go back to the problem. So the slope of this line is -5/12. So if I want perpendicular to that, I'm going to do the opposite reciprocal. So double flip. So this is negative, so my new slope needs to be positive. And when I flip the fraction, 5/12 becomes 12/5. So it's in point slope form. So I know here's my slopes. Well, the only one that has that slope is C. So it has to be C, but let's just double check it. So we also need it to go through this point. This ordered pair is -5, 10. So if I'm plugging in point slope form, remember I plug in the y, it's gonna, since that's a +10, it's gonna go in as a -10. I need the slope to be 12/5. X is a -5, so when I plug it in, it's gonna make it a +5. So then my answer is C. Alright, question 12. Here we go. Okay, so here's the line. So select the correct answer. So the equation of the line is, so use slope man. Slope man's your best friend. You gotta know how to use him though. So if it's a horizontal line, that's his mouth, so it tells you for the equation to do y equals, and then the y of the line. So if I go down here, the y everywhere on this line, y is -2. So y equals -2 would be the equation. And the slope of the line, again, use the slope man. The slope is going to be 0. It's his mouth. So the slope is going to be 0. The line is blank to the y-axis. Here's the y-axis. It is not parallel. Parallel lines never intersect. This would be perpendicular to the y-axis. So this is going to be perpendicular. Right? And it is a function. None of these x's repeat. If I do the vertical line test, it will never intersect more than once. So it is a function. Okay? Okay. This one gives us the function y equals 8/3 x minus 1. We need parallel slope, so again, parallel is going to be the same. So this slope is 8/3, so the parallel slope is going to be 8/3. Perpendicular, double flip, make sure you do both. So this is positive, it needs to be negative. And if I flip it, 8/3 becomes 3/8. Question 14, we need it in slope-intercept form, so it's in standard form. We need to go from standard to slope-intercept. So isolate, other side, side-by-side divide. So isolate the y, other side. So I'm going to move the 6x to the other side by doing the opposite. So I'm going to add 6x. Now I'm going to write them side by side. So I'm going to bring down the 15y, positive 6x plus 90. Last step, divide. Make sure you always do the math in Desmos. It's the little things that we're messing up on. So numerator divided by denominator, top divided by bottom. So 6 divided by 15 in Desmos. So clear this out. 6 divided by 15. I don't like the decimal. Fractions 2/5. And then 90 divided by 15 for the y-intercept is 6. So y equals 2/5 x plus 6. So 2/5 plus 6. 15. So the graph of the function is transformed to the following equation. So we start with the parent and we transform to here. Okay, so the negative, so I guess the only thing that's changed, sorry I had to look for a minute, on number 15 is the -7. The negative is going to make it reflect. It's going to reflect over the x. Remember, rocks always reflects over the x. And then the 7 is going to make it stretch. I hod over again. I hod over. So you got to pay attention to vertical and horizontal. So the 7 is outside of parentheses, outside, so it's a vertical stretch. Vertical stretch. Vertical stretch. Okay, so here we have two things. So again, it's outside, it's vertical, and it's less than 1, so it's going to compress. So this would be a vertical compress. And then inside, if it's inside, it's horizontal, which means left and right. Horizontal goes left and right. It's going to be opposite. So -5 is going to be right 5. So it's going to shift right. Shift right. So use I hod over on your test tomorrow. Okay, and that's it. Good luck.